So you need primarily metal tools. You want an engineer's square to make your right angles, to butt up against the edge of your materials when you're marking them out. You need a metal ruler because you want to cut against it, so not a plastic ruler. The measuring tools that you use for your drawing are handy too, a retractable pencil, but most importantly you'll need a Swan Walton No. 3 knife, and you will need some 10A blades. You can get the knife and the blades from the Student Union shop at Messer's House, but you can also get them from Amazon. Very good value for money. You will use a lot of blades, so I would go for the large packs of 100. So this is just a quick tip about taking advantage of the edge of your materials. Don't cut out holes in the middle of a piece of card to get a square out of it. Work with the edge. The corners are right angles, so you should take advantage and use those. It saves you cutting, it saves materials, saves the planet. So here we're going to look at making octagons without a protractor. So you can use it as a basic form for your model for the corner details of the Northgate building. The important thing about this is to start to see that you can make what appears very complicated designs from really basic polygon shapes and squares and straight lines. So when you look at the Northgate building, you can see that it's basically made up of octagons and tubes and boxes. This principle of simplifying complex forms into basic shapes applies to pretty much all model making that you'll do, because if you can make a box and cut a straight line, you can pretty much make any building. And last thing to note is, whenever you make a shape like this as a template, always try and find the centre line and put the hole in it. You will be grateful for that later on. Okay. So what we're going to be doing now is talking about how to extrude that octagonal shape into a column that we can use for the end of the buildings. First, cut the card to the right height and mark out the different faces. But we're not going to cut them with the front of the knife, we're going to cut them with the back of the knife. Using the back of the knife is brilliant because it's sharp, but it doesn't cut. So what it's going to do is it's going to score the surface, and that's going to give you a really nice fold line, which is really accurate, really clean. You're going to fold all of your points together, and that's going to give you your basic form. And then we're going to join that together. We're going to use double-sided sticky tape to join these sort of things together. When you're working in card, you want to try and avoid wet glues as much as possible, unless you absolutely have to. Double-sided sticky tape isn't going to warp the card or the paper, and you can get it really accurate where you want it. One nice little tip is to use your knife to take off the double-sided sticky tape, which you can spend hours if you've got no fingernails trying to get that off. So just push it down, and then you just take the knife and slide it underneath, and it'll pull it forward. So stick that together, nice and strong. Last thing on the octagonal column is that obviously it's quite difficult to maintain it as a shape, so you might want to put a framing in the middle, push the framing to the edge of things. It tends to be a bit messy, it's hard to control, you get glue on your cutting mats, that sort of thing. Put something like some dice at the bottom or something like that, and you can push it down, get it nice and perpendicular to the form. It's away from the edge, it's really strong, it holds the shape, a little bit of glue and you're away.